what have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what, like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be called Truth Predict, and it will take bets not just in all 50 states, but worldwide, it says, on political elections. So those are elections potentially involving Donald Trump or, people related to him, interest and inflation rate changes, the price of gold and crude oil, and of course, events across all major sports leagues. Half a dozen states have already filed lawsuits against this.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carden Show, only on SportsGrid.
Brock Bowers got a full practice back in. Before he got injured, he looked like he was going to be the wrecking ball we knew he could be. He says he's close to 100%. Also, Jacoby Myers, their top wide receiver, got in the full practice on Wednesday as well. Help is on the way for the Raiders. Not to say that they're going to win this football game or have a great run of the season, but I think you might get a different look Raiders this week with Brock Bowers and the boys coming back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Happy Halloween on an hour number 2 here of the Early Line right here on the SportsGrid Network. It's your boy down the right side. It is Joe Ranieri, and Halloween deals with candy, and it deals with kids coming up to the door, trick or treat. Let me ask you this question, Joe, because I've answered the door for hundreds of kids and given out candy. When I say trick or treat, like, I should just one of these times be like, okay, I'm going to do a trick. I've never done the trick before. Have you ever disappointed the kids that come to the door like, trick or treat? Like, all right, here's a trick. You get no candy? I mean, come on now. Kids don't want to see a trick. Stop.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't want a roll of nickels. They don't want toothpaste and a toothbrush. They don't want anything along those lines, Donnie. But I'll tell you this. I reward effort when the doorbell rings, right? If you put some effort into the costume. What I don't tolerate is the dude showing up with like a pillowcase and no outfit and being like, dude, can you, like, hell no. Oh, hell, put some effort in here and we'll go ahead and pay accordingly.
By the way, you want to have legendary status in your neighborhood, give out the full candy bars. It doesn't even matter what type of candy bar it is. That is when kids see that, they get busy at that point. But I always like to say, too, it's like, the candy. It's almost like, okay, kids come through. Boy, you got that for days and days and days in your house here, trying to knock that down and add on some more weight. I do like Halloween. And as a kid, loved it because you walked around, you had the pillowcase, you tried to fill it up and stay out as late as you can. But you're sitting back here and eating the candy while you're handing it out. That's certainly a passing of time here. If that's Halloween, that's how we get down. By the way, Joe, quick question. What is your favorite candy? What is it?
Oh, that's a good question, man. I was always $100,000 grand bar. I absolutely love that. Love that. Old school. Go with it, man. Nothing like it.
You know where I'm going. It's Mr. Goodbar. It's nothing better than Mr. Goodbar, man. Nothing in this world is better than Mr. Goodbar. So we're going old school out here, people. Not the new wave, the mixes between the Reese's Pieces and the Snickers and all that good stuff. Stop the madness. Give me an old school Mr. Goodbar while it's in the freezer. I like my chocolate cold. I got to tell you that.
Yes.
You know what else I don't like cold here? Lamar Jackson. He came in hot. Hey, buddy, hand the ball off a little bit more on the goal time. Saved your boy DRS some money last night, but 4 touchdown passes for Lamar Jackson as we get to the early lineup. He was fantastic. The Ravens won easily. The Dolphins are inept. What more can you say?
Yeah, listen, it was a big third quarter. That is where the separation happened in this game. But, 5 possessions inside the Ravens' 35-yard line that ended up with just one field goal there, Donnie, is really the story of this game here. kudos. There was some rust that he shook off. The defense seems to be rounding into form. All of this means that the Ravens are very much alive and well for the playoffs once again.
How about that? And also, if you're watching last night, Victor Wembanyama, my goodness, a 107-101 victory over the Miami Heat to improve to 5-0 in the season, 3-0 at home. And Victor Wembanyama's statistics, unbelievable last night, Joe. 27 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks. The man is here. He's arrived. And he'll be in those MVP conversations for the next decade.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what's he going to be, Donnie? At 21 years old, what's he going to be at 27, 28 years old? The kid is just unbelievable. And he understands the game, which is really amazing here. It was a great battle last night in that game against the Heat. A lot of very young guys. The future of the NBA looks like it's in pretty good hands.
How about in pretty good hands here in Nebraska? Well, if you do set that up and say, well, how does this work out? Well, Matt Rule's made a lot of money in his career. He's actually done very well in college. Temple, moved on to Baylor, then took an NFL job, got fired, but that's big money, and now making even more big money at Nebraska through 2032. But let's understand this. Matt Rule's career against ranked opponents is 2-23. That deserves an extension. I don't know. I don't make the rules, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's the minute all that talk about Penn State was coming down, Nebraska, what's your choice here? You can either let him go interview for it or you can lock him up, and that's exactly what they did. 90% buyout, too, of the $79.5 million base salary. So guess what, Donnie? Even if they decide at this point to let him go, guess who's walking away with a boatload of money?
Oh, my goodness. It's absolutely crazy to watch this play out. It really is, with the money in college football, and you're even buying mediocrity at this point as opposed to the best. Because honestly, what happens if the agent goes to Nebraska and is like, we want to get an extension? They go, no. Like, is he leaving? And where would he leave to go anyway? Like Penn State? I'm sure they probably don't want him at this point, but also there's not a lot of rock star head coaches to go around for how many openings that they're up. So Nebraska's like, all right, we'll just bite the bullet. We'll give you another 2 years. And I think, by the way, that said 2030. I think its extension is to 2032, which takes you from 2025, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. That's absolutely incredible. I'll tell you, he's also looking to give out extensions here. It won't be Sky Woodward. Why? Out of a job because you're supposed to win national championships. You're supposed to compete and get to the playoffs. But when you swing and miss on a massive hire like he just did at LSU with Brian Kelly, you find yourself out. When the governor calls you out in a football state, you're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them. So absolutely hilarious how it unfolded. But Donnie, like we learned yesterday from that governor, right? There's only 5 or 6 agents that represent everyone. He's going to get another AD job someplace else.
Yes, he will. And by the way, let's go back to here. Mike Leach, love the guy here, talking about coaching circles around college football.
Because why not? Because, we're American. We love committees. Let's get us a committee. Well, who should be on the committee? Well, I don't know. This guy's a good guy. Let's have him on the committee. Well, I mean, there's people on the committee that don't even have remote associations with football, nor have they at any level other than being a fan. But you know what? Let's have them on a committee. Why not? And then, I mean, it'd be fun. We'd go to that resort. We could talk. We could hang out at dinner.
You know what? If he stayed and was still alive at Washington State, we'd still have a Pac-12. That's how much I believed in Mike Leach.
Listen, he was one of the greatest, man. The greatest post-game news conferences, the greatest sound clips, sound bites. The guy was truly, truly unique. And yes, I would love to have heard what he would have had to say about some of the stuff going on in college football right now. Unreal.
Absolutely. Would have been absolutely fantastic to hear him out, but always good to see Big Mike come on the show here. By the way, Blake Butera, 32 years old. He's a Major League Baseball manager here. Is everybody older than him, including like the cafeteria people? My goodness, the youngest man of all time. Look at the guy. Looks like a 15-year-old up there.
And what does that tell you about Major League Baseball these days, Donnie? That how much influence will a 33-year-old walking into a clubhouse here with multi-million-dollar guys, like how much influence do you think he's going to have? Well, the answer is none, because his job and the manager's job has become, here's who the lineup is going to be there tonight. Fill out the card, give it to the umpire, and go sit back down.
One of the most iconic franchises approves their new governor, as I like to say, in the NBA, and that is Mark Walter. Imagine having, hey, Dodgers are mine, Lakers are mine. What's next? Going to buy a Ballmer out for the Clippers here and completely take control? Buy LA, buy the actual Angels as well? Money just runs thick out there in California. Mark Walters, he must have a ton of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe he can just, build 2 more stadiums in between and just connect them all. Donnie, what do you think? Just get them all. Just connect them all, man. All exact big tunnel right underneath from stadium to stadium there. It's ridiculous amounts of money.
By the way, talking about pay-per-view fights, I don't know if it's Netflix or it's YouTube or whatever it's on. Gervonta Davis accused of domestic violence. Isn't he supposed to fight one of the Paul brothers coming up in a couple weeks here? That's not the promotion you wanted for the fight.
Yeah, that's not at all in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, and I believe it was a $2 million personal bet that fight was supposed to be, but he might need to save his money here.
Oh, man, giving it away at the wrong time at this point right now. Tough scene, but hey, it's the way it is, and that's the way we do the early lineup on a Halloween edition. But you know what? We're dressed up and looking the part. Now let's get a real college football coach in here to lay down the law. It's Coach Terry Bowden coming up next for this weekend's exciting Week 10 in college football.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
This is a bad moment for women's sports because there was a lot riding on this. It's a great idea. Toyota had been signed up as a sponsor for what was going to be last night's coverage, and SI is really in a bad pickle. They have got to come clean and find out why, after 7 months of trying to put this together, they couldn't get the job done, and when they're going to have these games rescheduled.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Football Friday right here on the SportsGrid Network. We love it. We love our time here. It's college football. It's week number 10. And Joe, I can't get back to this again. It's week 9 of pro football. It's week 10 in college football. But the one thing I do like is usually we are winding down in college football at this point, right? Maybe a couple games left, a month break until we get to the bowl games here. And there's not a really lot to do, but that's not the case at this point. Like week 10 means, okay, you're heading into November, a full slate of November football, a full slate of December football, a full slate of January football, which includes bowl games and also the college football playoff. So as much as we hate to see, like, where does the time go? And pretty soon we'll be saying, hey, Joe, pitchers and catchers in Major League Baseball. I love this because everything's heating up and we're getting elimination games on a week-to-week basis, even though it is week 10 and we started in week 0. Feels like just a few short weeks ago.
Yeah, Donnie, it's like, where is the time going here? And, oh, yeah, by the way, Monday, yes, Monday is the start of college basketball. Yeah, just to add a little nugget in there. Let's just throw, 700 games a week in college hoops on top of the end of college football season, heading into the postseason. Should be a lot of fun, Donnie.
Yeah, let me get a quick look at this show. Did you know the first game I'm listing here, this is top 25 action. Give me the first game. I'm going to go Division I, and we're going to go Monday. Joe, 8 a.m. You heard
Correct.
that right. 8 a.m. Winthrop, Queens. 11 a.m. Bradley, St. Bonnie. 11:30 Arlington Baptist, East Texas A&M. Joe, now can we get special dispensation on the show? Like, because we're not on radio, like doing Sirius XM.
Right.
Can we actually call the game live and go play-by-play?
I would love it. I mean, I cannot wait for it. I love college basketball season. I love it more than anything else. And it is just going to be from 8 a.m. on. While we're on air, Donnie, we are going to have nothing but college hoops going on all day long. And not just Monday, Donnie.
Yeah.
Tuesday as well.
Yeah. No, we got to get down to that business here. We got to have some fun with this. But we do have college football week number 10 coming up now, Joe. So why don't we get to some of these games and sort of check it out? Oh, here we go. DRS Joe Ranieri, the coach. It's Terry Bowden. Look, he was probably in his playbook for this weekend, getting those last news and notes together. Coach, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. The biggest problem I have, I'm on at 9:40 and 45 on Saturdays, and I'm always getting those two times mixed up. But great to be back. Got a great week of football coming up.
It is, Coach. Let's get right down to the business in the Big Ten. We might have thought before the season this might decide a national championship or the Big Ten. Penn State, 3 touchdown underdogs taking on Ohio State. Coach, what gives us? And also, I love the coaching perspective. When you're an interim coach or you're a coach looking to stomp them, where are we going here? Woo.
Well, who would have thought the biggest question on this one's going to be whether they can get 21 points because they're going to win the game. Everything's stacked against Penn State. Going against the number 1 defense in the country, giving up 5.9. There's no weakness on this Ohio State team, and I'm taking the 21. They say they're not running it enough, but when your quarterback's throwing 80%, 2 of the best receivers in the country, why waste your time running it more? If they want to run, they can, but they're going to win this game behind that throwing and catching of that quarterback and receivers.
One of the games of the week, Coach. It's their season. University of Texas. Doesn't matter to me who's under center there. It's that Texas defense is going to have to stand up and show out in this game against Vandy. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it matters which one is going to be at quarterback. Of course, Arch Manning with a concussion protocol. I don't think they'll play him. He could possibly go, but that's a pretty big name. They got to protect him, and I don't think so. The only quarterback that matters is the quarterback at Vanderbilt. Is he playing? Because you got a 2.5-point spread, and in the last minute of the game, if you're down by 3, he'll find a way to get a field goal. If you're up by 3, he'll find a way to get a first down. If it's going to be 2.5, it's going to be Vandy to win this football game.
Coach, if you were coaching Vandy, like just being in the mix there on a week-to-week in the SEC, it's so tough. But each week, like they're playing heavyweight contests, spreads under 3 each and every week. How do you keep the kids in line to say, hey, we got to go out and do it again and now on the road?
It's not how you keep them up. It's how you get them down. They're so sky high. They got to make sure they don't play the game on Tuesday or Wednesday because I guarantee they got the most spirited practice. We're talking about a team that hadn't been 7-1 since 1941. It's just they're in uncharted water. They're so motivated and so inspired. I'm amazed at how they're able to keep their emotions down to an even keel so they don't play the football game during the week.
Coach, we've seen nothing but Miami muddy since this game opened up against SMU. They were 10.5. It was as high as 12.5, even 13 during the week here. SMU is not the same SMU from a year ago in the playoffs, Coach, are they?
No, they are not. They've lost games, and they've lost the last football game. Miami did show some weaknesses in their loss to Louisville, but they got it straight last week. Miami is a complete football team, and I believe they're back on track. SMU is not going to be too much of a burden in the way, so I am taking Miami. But I will say this: SMU down in town. I'm going to take their points in this football game.
Try to keep it a little bit close there, Coach. One more game I want to go over with you. SEC action, Georgia and Florida, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. A touchdown favorite for Georgia. Florida, new head coach / interim coach. They got the weapons here sitting at 3-4. Can they surprise top 5 Georgia?
I don't think so. I think Georgia is tired of hearing about Alabama and how all the other teams in the SEC, and now this is their year. I think they're getting down towards the end of the season. The biggest factor to me is Kirby Smart. He is such a great gamer. He's a halftime adjuster. He wins the big football games, and Georgia is getting better and better. I don't think they're as strong defensively as their championship teams, but I don't think Florida can overcome the change of coaches and all that to stay with him. So I'm going with Georgia to win and win by the spread.
Coach, let's have some fun with this over the final 30 seconds. Penn State job is open. Also, you take a look at the Florida job is open. You've coached at major Division I universities. Which coaching job would Coach Terry Bowden like?
Well, because I like warm weather the older I get. No, you know what? I grew up in West Virginia, and we played Penn State every year. My father played Penn State as the head coach every year. But I've been in the SEC. I've coached in Florida. I want to be down in sunny weather if that's me.
It's absolutely fantastic stuff. That's the insight that we get every week from Coach Terry Bowden. Catch him tomorrow once again on College Football Today on a Saturday. Thanks for stopping by, Coach. Appreciate it. And the show rolls on next.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
This is a bad moment for women's sports because there was a lot riding on this. It's a great idea. Toyota had been signed up as a sponsor for what was going to be last night's coverage, and SI is really in a bad pickle. They have got to come clean and find out why, after 7 months of trying to put this together, they couldn't get the job done, and when they're going to have these games rescheduled.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's the university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Happy Halloween out there. Well, it is Halloween. It is October 31st, 2025. When you wake up tomorrow, it will be November. And also, PSA, Joe, because when you're around the water cooler, we like to keep you informed. Understand this. You're going to wake up Sunday morning, fall back on the clocks here. You get the extra hour of sleep, which usually bleeds into Monday and feels good. But I got to tell you, Like just a shock every single time. Like when the clocks go forward, you lose some sleep. But you're like, wow, look at that. It's really bright out here. It's 6:15, 7:15 now. The fact that we lose that hour, it is a shock to the system where at like 4:15, 4:20, it gets dark. I don't like it, Joe. Like we got to run on a platform where instead of firing coaches at LSU, we got to get on this platform where we're going to extend the day, people. Extend it, not shorten it.
Yeah, I know. It gets kind of, it's so funny. Every year we complain about it, Donnie, until we get to this time of year and we're like, wait a minute, we get an extra hour of sleep. I'm all in. Yeah. We're good. Let's go. We're looking for, and then we hate it when we got to put them forward and lose an hour in a couple of months. Kind of crazy.
We do. It is kind of crazy. It's some of those crazy Kalshi markets where sometimes just understanding the bet is half of the fun. The question is on Kalshi, which pro basketball coaches out this year? Well, if you can sort of differentiate on what they actually mean by that, Chauncey Billups, Jason Kidd, Doug Christie, it means which coach is going to be fired this year. Now, understand this. When we talk about this year, it's not the NBA basketball season. You're like, yeah, he made it at the end of the year. They fired him. Oh, I won that bet. If the head coach of Portland leaves, which would be Chauncey Billups, or announces will leave before January 1st, 2026, which again is only in a few short months, then the market does resolve. So this isn't, hey, this coach is going to coach out this quote-unquote season or year in the NBA. He's got to be out by January 1st. 69% there as a yes. And if you bet on that, Joe, $100 pays back $145. Chauncey, is he going to hang on as that interim / you're still going to get paid in escrow, but we're not going to fire you? Or is he getting canned before December 31st?
No, it's actually not him, Donnie, believe it or not. It's going to be the Pelicans' Willie Green, because it's already over the last 24 hours. It's all over that the locker room is growing extremely frustrated with their head coach there. And Zion's not in his corner. And if Zion's not in his corner in that organization, it's going to be lights out. I don't think they can do anything with Chauncey Billups until they have more clarity as to what's going. Again, innocent until proven guilty, right, Donnie? I don't know that they can do anything, firing now for him, but I think Willie Green may not make it to next week.
Yeah, Willie Green ought to fire the city of New Orleans and the basketball team themselves. I mean, who goes down to New Orleans and expects to win there, and then the team's out on the coach? That team has been out on everybody, including the city, for the last couple of years. Eastern Conference Finals winner. This is the NHL. Hurricanes, Panthers, Lightning at the top. The favorites right now are the Hurricanes, and a $100 wager on Kalshi in this market would pay back $477. Is it the Hurricanes, or are you just going to be biased again here and go with the Florida Panthers and not take a look at my Philadelphia Flyers?
No, well, nobody's looking. You're not even looking at the
Flyers.
Flyers.
Yes, they
Stop
are.
It.
Come
no,
on.
You are absolutely
Big
not.
win last night.
I know.
Big
Congratulations. Win. You won the month of October. Listen, this is every year. It's the same thing, Donnie. It's the Carolina Panthers are always favored right up to the postseason. It's Carolina, and then what happens? They end up getting swept by Florida, or 4-1 in 5 games. It's over. It's the same thing year after year after year. None of that surprises me. So yes, it's cashed with Florida over the last 3. I got no problem doing it again.
Am I getting punked right now? Could we put the graphic up for this next one? This question asks, which team will make the #1 overall pick in 2026 on Kalshi? It says Vegas and New York, but I'm looking at the live one right now. Green Bay is listed with the same price as Vegas and New York. Are they trading Jordan Love at the deadline to get the #1 overall pick? What I miss here? Why is Green Bay at a 96 and Vegas and also New York is at a 95? Help me with this, Joe. What is Kalshi
I love
doing?
the fact. Maybe the Jets should, rename themselves the New York J, because they're really half a football team. So I think that's a great point right there. And likely, Donnie, the New Orleans Saints are the ones that are going to be having that first pick overall when it's all said and done.
I'm looking at the price points right now. $100 on the Green Bay making the first pick gets you back a $5 wager. which doesn't make any sense. And then you go down to Vegas and you put $100 in, and it gives you $106 as a spot here. So apparently Green Bay is the favorite right now at Kalshi to draft number 1 overall in 2026. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I just report on the rules. But let's get down to some action tonight in the association and pick some winners next. You just see Texas in any game, and again, Kentucky used to be able to put up points in the past. 43.5 is crazy because it just feels like Texas is going to come in, play really good defense, and try to squeeze this game out. It'll be interesting to see because nothing got ailed from that victory last week. Texas is back. I'm just being facetious at this point. But if we see one of those performances 17-14 Texas.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah, come on.
Right? I mean, really. I mean, they got a gift last week.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, it looks like the Bengals fantasy pieces are back. What did you make of that Joe Flacco performance on Thursday night? Turning back time.
Yeah, it was great for a guy like me with gray in the beard. I love seeing it. I love my representation. But at the end of the day, just from a wagering standpoint, if this continues, it'll give some consistency and it'll give some value back to those tools that you were mentioning on the Bengals.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Defense is above average this year, and I think big picture they're going to be probably the most consistent moving forward. The problem I have is this guy, Trevor Lawrence, big picture. You got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly sometimes is real ugly. He is not comfortable in the pocket on a consistent basis, and that's a problem.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid. It starts innocent. One bet, one boost, one thrill. You're not haunted by ghosts. You're haunted by doubt. But that's where SportsGrid brings the light when the lines get dark. The only thing scarier than losing a bet is missing a winner. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Oh, yeah, right back on the early line here in hour number 2. Donnie right side, along with Joe Ranieri on a Football Friday, Halloween spooky edition. We got a lot of stuff to watch tonight, which includes the World Series game number 6. Love to see that. There's also hockey out there, and the NBA, the association, also will take first stage before we get to the month of November, which tomorrow is November the 1st. My goodness, where does the time go? Well, let's get down to the handicap and see if we can make some correct decisions. 7 o'clock from the city of brotherly love, the Boston Celtics and the undefeated Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers favored across the board between 1.5 and 2.5, depending on where you're shopping at in the total. That's listed at 234.5. That starting lineup, Joe, for the Sixers as followed. Maxey, Edgecombe, Edwards, Oubre, and Joel Embiid, with the focus putting on Maxey and Edgecombe. They have been spectacular in the backcourt to start this NBA season.
Yeah, I can't stress enough that figure out who is absolutely going to be in this lineup and who's not going to be in a lineup for both of these teams here. Listen, the Celtics have turned it around after a slow start thanks to Jaylen Brown really going off in most situations here. So he's kind of carrying this team right now. And you mentioned it, your Sixers, one of the top scoring teams in the NBA. And heck, even Embiid looked a little closer to Embiid of old in that last game against Washington. So, until otherwise right now, I think the 76ers have big advantages over this version of the Celtics. At this price, don't mind it at all here. And I don't mind the over either.
Ride the streaks, baby. Come on, Philadelphia 76ers. On a Friday night down in South Philadelphia, handle your business here. Now, I got to tell you, if we're looking at a ratings war, like in the city of Toronto, Joe, let me ask you a simple question. more people watching tonight, the Blue Jays game number 6 or the Raptors at Cleveland? What do you think here? We put that on couch.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's close, Donnie, if we're being completely honest here. And who can blame folks there that, yes, you want to see history in the making, taking down the big bad Dodgers here if you're Toronto. But that doesn't make the Raptor game any less interesting as far as I'm concerned, because who are the Cavaliers right now? If you've watched them, Donnie, they are atrocious. Who are they to be laying this number against anybody right now? Offensively, they're an absolute mess. They can't defend anybody. And you've got a Raptors team that's doing a pretty good job of scoring some points. They're long, they're athletic, they're young. I'll take the 7.5 points all day long here with the Toronto Raptors.
Like, do you figure like people are at the stadium at the Rogers Center, like with their little, phones out watching at the same time the Raptors game? Are they going to be focused on Yamamoto and the Dodgers tonight? Or if you do get a game number 7, at least Toronto Raptors won tonight. Nah, just playing into it. Probably not going to get high ratings in the 6 area for this game. But we'll see if they get a cover or if it's the Cleveland Cavaliers coming away with the victory. Call it 7 points here. The New York Knicks on the road to take on the Chicago Bulls. That line, Joe, 4.5s across the board in a total of 234.5. Knicks Bulls tonight from Chicago. Give me some thoughts on this one.
Yeah, don't sleep on the Bulls. That's what I'll tell you right now. I mean, they traded away Zach LaVine last season, and man, they got some players here, and they got some young guys too that can absolutely ball. And look at them, Donnie. They're 4-0. On the season. Them in San Antonio, right? The 2 undefeated teams here in the NBA. In the meantime, the Knicks, again, still trying to figure out rotations, trying not to burn guys out. Injuries continue to be an issue, but I kind of like the Bulls getting points at home here. I think they're very underrated. The market will eventually adjust. I don't think they have, but I also don't think the Knicks should be laying this number against anybody right now.
How about this one? The Los Angeles Lakers on the road against the Memphis Grizzlies. Team Austin Reeves right now for the Lakers, but I'm seeing reports of an upgrade to questionable for Luka Doncic tonight as it stands. Doncic, Reeves, LaRavia, Hachimura, and Ayton expected to be in the starting lineups, but once again, we're talking about this early in the morning on a Friday. A lot of things change. Hey, healthy players get injured sometimes around 5 o'clock mysteriously in the NBA. But the favorites are the Memphis Grizzlies, -2.5 to -1.5, depending on where you're shopping at, and a 237.5. The expectations, Doncic could be back. Would you be crazy for betting them now and getting a better line? Figured if he doesn't play, they can still win? Or come on now, we got to wait to see what Luka's doing tonight.
I mean, listen, Reeves has averaged 40 points and 10 assists over the last 3 games, Donnie. Yep. I mean, my goodness, we haven't seen that since Jerry West back in March of 1970 here. So, yeah, he is a force to be reckoned with. And go figure, he bet on himself this year, right? Turned down that extension and said, no.
He did.
I'll play. And, we're going to renegotiate at the end of the year. So kudos to him. Listen, Memphis still pretty banged up, doesn't have its full complement of guys. Good win against Phoenix last time out. Lakers hitting the road for a little road trip here. I'm not looking at an under in any Memphis Grizzlies game at all. Lakers aren't going to play defense. I'm looking at the over here. And by the way, this is another one of those opening night NBA Cup games, Donnie, along with Toronto and Cleveland. Yeah, it's the start of the NBA Cup. So the whole court is going to be a little psychedelic here tonight.
That's true. It just means more in the NBA. The Cup season, Stanley Cup, NBA Cup, what gives here? Denver Nuggets, Portland Trail Blazers. Portland, we know, is not going to be without their, head coach, Chauncey Billups. We were just talking about on Kalshi. Will he be one of the first coaches that exits here from being a head coach in the NBA by being fired? The Nuggets are on the road. They're favored by 4.5 points, and the total of this game listed at 239.5. Portland and Denver tonight from the Rose City.
All right, we got history in the making here tonight in this game, Donnie, as the Joker is going to look to become the first NBA player in the history of the game to open a season with 5 consecutive triple-doubles when he takes on these Trailblazers. He is 4 for 4 triple-doubles to start the season here. That he tied Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook, who did it, by the way, years ago when Russell was actually worth having on a team. But yeah, he's going to have an opportunity to do it again tonight against the Trailblazers, who let's face it, the Trailblazers, great start to the season, haven't really seemed to miss Chauncey Billups all that much. This is a different animal here. I think not only does he get the record, I think the Denver Nuggets are going to help him get the record, and I think they go on to win by double digits one way or the other.
Like, imagine being a multi-time MVP like Nikola Jokic is and starting out the season doing nothing but MVP things, but being third right now in the odds market to win an actual MVP at a plus 420 price. Why? Wembanyama, 3-1 price, and SGA at plus 175. One more game we'll get to tonight, Joe. The New Orleans Pelicans, who lost the locker room with their head coach, is always a good sign when you're on the road in LA to take on the Clippers. The Clippers are a heavy favorite, Joe. Minus 11's out there in a total of 223.5. Always tough to gauge a team that's ready to implode and if you want to back them or not.
Well, another one of these NBA Cup openers here for both of these teams. But let's be reasonable. I just watched the Clippers hold Golden State to under 100 points, and they lost, Donnie. Why? Because they shot 36% from the floor, and they scored 30 total second-half points in that loss. Now they're going home, probably a bad taste in their mouth. Winless Pelicans, I think, remain winless. The Clippers will get back on track offensively in a blowout here tonight.
NBA car time. By the way, does it add extra juice for you there, Joe? Will you follow along with the NBA Cup? Because I used to joke, like, somebody just needs to keep tabs on me for exactly what we're talking about and who needs what win to advance and maybe make it to the NBA Cup. I can't figure it out. I always like to say, Joe, the fans just want to be entertained. We don't want to have math equations like calculus determining who's going to play in the NBA Cup. That's what I have an issue with here. I do.
Yeah, well, again, just watch the game. You'll see a new court, right? It'll be all sorts of fancy. It'll stand out, and then just keep it here with us throughout the week. We'll let you know how it all works and who's playing who and where the best odds lie. So we've got you covered on it.
Yeah. And by the way, the WNBA, I mean, they got extended 30 days for their CBA. I guarantee you that 30 days ain't going to do a damn thing to help resurrect what they're trying to do. Give me odds on this on the Kalshi market, Joe. Odds that we get a lockout in the WNBA. What's that price?
Well, I can guarantee it won't read like that, though, Donnie. I can guarantee that.
NFL, let's get you ready for the weekend, people. Joe and Donnie, we'll be right back. You just see Texas in any game, and again, Kentucky used to be able to put up points in the past. 43.5 is crazy because it just feels like Texas is going to come in and play really good defense and try to squeeze this game out. It'll be interesting to see because nothing got ailed from that victory last week. Texas is back. I'm just being facetious at this point, but if we see one of those performances, like, hey, 17-14 Texas
in the fourth quarter,
yeah, come on,
right? I mean, really? I mean, they got a gift last week.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It looks like the Bengals fantasy pieces are back. What did you make of that Joe Flacco performance on Thursday night? Turning back time.
Yeah, it was great for a guy like me with gray in the beard. I love seeing it. I love my representation. But at the end of the day, just from a wagering standpoint, if this continues, it'll give some consistency and it'll give some value back to those tools that you were mentioning on the Bengals.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Defense is above average this year, and I think big picture they're going to be probably the most consistent moving forward. The problem I have is this guy, Trevor Lawrence, big picture. You got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly sometimes is real ugly. He is not comfortable in the pocket on a consistent basis, and that's a problem.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid. It starts innocent. One bet, one boost, one thrill. You're not haunted by ghosts. You're haunted by doubt. But that's where SportsGrid brings the light when the lines get dark. The only thing scarier than losing a bet is missing a winner. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We saw a beatdown last night on Thursday Night Football. It's the Baltimore Ravens beating down the Miami Dolphins and basically ending their season. They'll be up at the trade deadline next week. Changes will be made and maybe a new head coach in town. The Baltimore Ravens looking to possibly win their division now. How crazy does that sound? But how about this? Minnesota, I don't think they're winning their division anytime soon because I think they get crushed on Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Detroit Lions. The Lions getting healthy at the right time. Minnesota, hey, McCarthy, get out there. I hope your ankle's ready because you're facing one of the best teams in the NFL. A total, Joe, of 48.5. I do think Detroit wins this game by double digits. I'll lay the 8.5 with the Lions. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not a great spot for J.J. McCarthy to get back into the fold here, Donnie. I do like the fact that, and you got to be excited if you're Minnesota. Okay, he's healthy. Now let's get what is supposed to be our future quarterback on the field and get it going. But not against this defense. I don't think this is a great spot on the road here. Yeah. Now, again, Detroit's defense, to be fair, could be still without a whole lot of guys here, especially in that secondary. But is Minnesota really going to be able to take advantage of it? I don't think so here. I think a team total is in store in this game here, one way or the other.
Tough spot to put him back into on the road in Detroit. That place is going to be loud. He might be just a little bit rusty. We'll find out sooner than later. That game kicks off at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Another game on 1 p.m. on Sunday, Joe. San Francisco and New York. We don't know the quarterback officially is going to be for the 49ers, but we do know for the New York Giants, it's Jackson Dart. Robert Saleh is the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. Here's him talking about Jackson Dart.
He is uber talented. I understand why Dayball went to the blue tent. I probably would have went too. I mean, kid's good, man. He's a really, really, really good kid. I think New York hit on this one big time. But he's dynamic. He's decisive. He's accurate. He's been a joy to watch over these. Just studying his tape over the last. He's been 5 starts now. So. And they're doing a really good job with him. They're asking him. There's certain things they're asking of him, but they're doing a good job hiding it within their weekly game plans. And I've always thought Dayball's done a really good job. Him and Kafka, and they put a lot of strain on defenses. And this kid he's going to be special. He is uber talented. I understand why Dayball went to the blue tent. I probably would have went too. I mean, kid's good, man. He's a really, really, really good kid. I think New York hit on this one big time. But he's dynamic. He's decisive. He's accurate. He's been a joy to watch over these.
Had way too much candy because for a minute
I was
there, I
wondering
felt like
because it's funny. Like I saw the length 141. This is interesting, Lex. He must have a lot to say about this kid. Well, apparently he liked it so much he wanted to say it twice at this point, Joe. But San Francisco is a slight favorite over New York. And by the way, talking about a ticket I have, Joe, over 3.5 wins for the Giants on the season. They got 2. This week, home game, under 3-point spread. Next week, look ahead line against Chicago. In Chicago, 3-point spread. I need one of these victories for the Giants. But you're not a good football team and you keep losing impactful players. That doesn't usually work out well, Joe.
No, it doesn't. I mean, and you lost your 2 best players in the skill positions, right?
Yes,
so Malik Neighbors gone, Cam Scattergood gone. And now where are you going to go with the ball, right? I mean, they're averaging 29 runs per game, which is 4th in the league. And they can't score in a red zone, Donnie. I think they're 48% in the red zone, 25th in the NFL. I mean, it can't be. You're going to get this kid killed. Let's be realistic here. And as banged up as the 49ers are, it comes down to coaching. And that guy that we just heard talk twice about, Jackson Dart, he's saying those things, but the reality is he will game plan for a rookie quarterback and give him opportunities to be confused. So I just can't back the Giants. The defense of the Giants has been better at home than on the road. But it just feels like the 49ers are at a different level right now than where this Giants organization is.
Joe, let's skip down and get to the biggest game of the weekend, which will be Kansas City and Buffalo. It's Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. These two are no strangers against playing each other. And Patrick Mahomes goes, yeah, you know what? I like playing in Buffalo.
Do you enjoy playing in Buffalo? And what's that environment like compared to other road games that you see consistently on the schedule?
I mean, they don't like us. I mean, that's pretty. They do not like the Chiefs. But I mean, it is a cool environment. I love playing in like historic stadiums. And that stadium has had so many great players play in it. And who knows, it might be the last time that we get the opportunity to play there. It'll be a great challenge for us. And they're loud, and that's what you want. You want to go in and be in a hostile environment. That's what football, when you watch on TV as a kid growing up, is the environments you want to play in. And so obviously they're not rooting for us, but you get to bond together as a team and get to go into a historic stadium and play in a great environment.
By the way, and Buffalo Bills, enjoy this. You are never going to get this atmosphere again. You have a couple more games left in your home stadium. Yep. It goes completely corporate next year, and the wind is blocked, and it's really nice, and the higher-ups get paid a lot of money to sit up in the seats and take the fans, full support here. Because I remember, and putting it back, Joe, just with Veteran Stadium, which was an absolute dump, but it was our dump. It was concrete hell. It was like watching Gladiator, and the fans participated. I love Lincoln Financial Field. It's a beautiful stadium, but you just lose that lure of, man, you're headed down with your boys in this grungy stadium, and we're going to get loud and rowdy and sit right on top of these players here.
Yeah, it is. And, if nothing else, these two teams have been very consistent, Donnie, against one another.
Yeah.
The Bills have beaten the Chiefs in the last 4 regular season meetings. And Kansas City has beaten Buffalo in the last 4 playoff meeting games. So there is a trend here where the Bills do really good in the regular season. Kansas City beats them in the playoffs. Neither team, by the way, since 2021 has ever been favored by more than a field goal. But this feels like an awful lot of points in this game. I'm not sure Buffalo is interested in a shootout in any way, shape, or form here. I think this number might be a little bit too high there with total points.
Yeah, we just look at the two teams, right? I'm like, oh, they should absolutely dominate. Like, Kansas City's defense is really in gear right now. This is a playoff game. It's not like, let's just launch the ball downfield left and right. So I'm with you on that. But I'm going to see who's going to be that more elite quarterback in this spot here, because Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City, a much different football team than we saw to start the season. And if you're the Buffalo Bills, why can't we play them back in week number 3? They're full gas right now, probably minus Pacheco. But that should be an awesome game to watch on Sunday afternoon. One more segment to go for an early edition of the Early Line on a Football Friday. And it comes up next.
This is a guy we should be adding. And if you add him this week, you loved life, because he was coming off not just a great Sunday last week when we were ahead of that curve, but also a great Thursday night football as well. So last week, 7 for 9 for 164 and a touchdown. This week on Thursday, 5 for 5, 77 and a touchdown. He didn't even play the first 2 weeks of the year, and he's already a top 10 tight end in scoring, if you can believe it.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Travis Hunter, Joe, is a part-time wide receiver. As I've told people from the moment he was drafted, there is zero chance long-term that they'll continue to do this. In terms of playing offense and defense, they're going to have to pick a position with him. Brian Thomas, he was unbelievable. Talking to the Jaguars about him last season, he was so far ahead of schedule where they thought he'd be super smart. He had a wrist injury, by the way. We need to mention that, Joe, earlier this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
SMU is undefeated. You got Louisville that knocked off Miami. Yeah. Miami has 1 loss. There's multiple teams that potentially can make a run for an ACC championship. So their backs are still against the wall. Like, Georgia Tech is not a shoo-in right now just because they're undefeated, because they still have to play Georgia at the end of the year as well. Even though it's out of conference, that can knock them out of the playoff.
SportsGrid's College Football Today. It starts innocent. 1 bet, 1 boost, 1 thrill. You're not haunted by ghosts. You're haunted by doubt. But that's where SportsGrid brings the light when the lines get dark. The only thing scarier than losing a bet is missing a winner. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
What a week on the early line. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. each and every work day. It's myself, Donnie Rightside. It's Joe Ranieri, setting you up and letting you know exactly what's going to take place that night, what happened the night before, and what happens into the future here. And as we talk about the future, Joe, this is the last day of October. It's Halloween, 10/31. Tomorrow turns into November the 1st. And also, it's been a long time, Joe. We've had baseball in our lives. No matter what happens tonight or Saturday, we're going to be here on a Monday morning, Joe, with no more Major League Baseball. Just a sign of the times at this point where things do change, new seasons start, seasons have to end, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But understand this, at this point of the show, Joe and I talk a lot. We like to reach out to the people and find out what's on their mind with a certain question. This is our Fade the Public poll. Telling you people right now, I will not be awake when this game is midway through, and that's Game 6 of the World Series. I love Major League Baseball, but I promise you, I will be up for the entirety of Game number 7 on Saturday night, if you can get me there. And this is what we asked. And if you want to find the Fade the Public poll, you must be following at SportsGrid on X. The question we asked today, will the Dodgers force a Game 7 in this year's World Series? I love this. The answers are, I hope not, and I hope so. Basically a 50-50 split as it is right now. 50-50, Joe.
It's tough, Donnie, because I hope not. I hope it's over, because let's just end baseball season right now. And listen, because if we give the Dodgers a 7th game, we're inviting them to once again go back-to-back. And no, as a Yankee fan, I am never going to root for the Dodgers to win anything. So to me, absolutely, Toronto, your best chance at a world championship tonight. End it. You get to a Game 7, and all cards are off the table at that point, Donnie.
You're killing me right now, because two things are going to happen. If the Dodgers win the World Series, then we're going to be able to lock down baseball and get a salary cap. But if the Dodgers lose the World Series, they're going to go and get 3 more All-Stars / Hall of Famers next year. I'm like, you're not going to beat us this year. But I love Game 7s. There's nothing cooler in sports than coming down late in the game on a close game, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, to find out who's going to be that certain superstar in victory. We'll find that out. But Game 6 tonight, Game 7 if needed, Saturday night. But now it's time to get back to bye. Damn the hooks last night. Let's get some winners tonight. College football, Major League Baseball. We got it all tonight. NBA action, Joe. Where are you taking us tonight for that W?
Well, Donnie, you know me on Fridays. I love my college football here. We are going to go to Syracuse, where good old Bill Belichick taking North Carolina to town there. And listen, North Carolina, I have been very impressed here. I thought maybe he'd begin to lose these kids, but he did not. These kids have been playing very hard. They had an opportunity to win that game at home against Virginia in overtime. Went for 2, came up about 6 inches short there. They could be 3-4 on the season, but the one thing I know is that their offense is terrible. They're only averaging about 14 points a game right now against FBS teams. And guess whose offense is even worse? Syracuse. Why? Well, they have a backup quarterback who, again, has thrown more interceptions than actual touchdowns here. They are not good. But the really good part of North Carolina nobody's talking about is this defense here. They have been locked down and shut down. That was a huge effort against a very good offense in Virginia. I don't see, Donnie, if we're going to get 46 points in this game, I'm going to need one of these teams to get to 24 points. And guess what? Neither is getting to 24 points in this game. It's an absolute rock fight. It's an under for me tonight with North Carolina and Syracuse.
How about this song? You ever heard this one, Joe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Sixers. 10, 9, 8, 76ers. Fantastic. Play the song tonight. Then at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and when they play that song, that means the Philadelphia Sixers have won that game, and they're going to take on the Boston Celtics tonight. Their hated rival. Basically, it's a half of a rival right now with the lineups that they're putting out. It is intriguing to me that the Sixers are unbeaten and only laying 2 points at home. Hint that maybe the Celtics should be the better side if you're just reading numbers. But I'm not reading numbers. I'm reading the tea leaves tonight. Sixers at home. VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and a healthier Joel Embiid are enough to give the Sixers a 2-0 lead over the Boston Celtics to start this season, and they will cover the 2-point spread tonight in Sixerland. How about that, Joe? That sounds like a 2-0 performance tonight out of the boys on a Friday, which is always payday.
Yep, I love it. Love the over in that game as well, Donnie.
Get dressed up, have fun, eat your candy tonight. We will see you bright and early on a Monday with a lot of information to go over. See ya.